here's Brody Brazil.
Okay, now that we're officially a couple weeks into 2025, we can have a look back at 2024 and see how it played out in terms of legal sports betting. And this information coming to us from legalsportsreport.com. This is their background, their area of expertise, so I will lean on them for this information. But preliminary 2024 totals for sportsbooks across the United States were $150 billion in handle and $14.2 billion in operator revenue. Handle is the amount of sports bets that were legally placed. Again, all these numbers are interesting, right? Because this is the legal side of it. This is not the stuff that's off the books. This is all on the books information. And also this 95% of all legal sports bets were placed online. And that's why you see so many advertisements, so many in-game scenarios and situations where you are encouraged to bet because they know that phone, that tablet, that computer are right in front of you. Still is interesting that 5% of bets, I suppose, were placed in person in places where it's legal. But 95% of all legal sports bets in 2024 were placed online. And the nationwide handle, the amount of money bet between 2023 and 2024, it went up by 23%. And I can tell you that, but you can also look at this and be amazed. I mean, this blows my mind. Even where we were as recently as 2020, 2019, and 2018, we are, sub $4 billion in total legal sports bets. Now, I realize that more states have opened up legal sports betting. It only opens the door for more transactions, more money to be wagered, all that. But to think that that's where sports was 4 or 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, that's amazing that it's now shot up to 14 is where it started 2024, above $15 billion in handle is per month, I should say. Not total, $15 billion per month by the end of 2024 here in December. And that is another thing to look at here. Not only how much it's gone up over time. I mean, you can really see the jump from 20 to 21, 22 to 23. And now even 2024, it continues to grow. But you can also kind of see month by month where the betting really gets heavy. And well, football season kind of starts right there. And then it just ramps right up. So we'll get to this in some later takeaways. But yeah, football and sports betting, it seems like the most obvious connection among all the sports. And it's not to say that sports betting isn't heavy in the spring. I think you can see between January and February and March and April. And maybe you get March Madness, you get the Super Bowl, you get some other sporting events, maybe NBA, the playoffs, NBA playoffs. But those are typically done, by June. I mean, look at the basketball and hockey playoffs are right there at a time where it's declining. So truly the trajectory going up every single year, right? Here, and here. That's all football season every single year. But look at the growth. Again, unbelievable that that's where 21 ends. And then by the start of 2022, it kind of tapers down, but then it goes back up. And 23 and 24. That growth is absolutely amazing. I mean, this is not what I expected. I would have expected year over year a little bit of growth, but not separated by so much. Here's the revenue for these sports books, and I cannot figure out what happened here in October of 2024, how it spiked in that little V shape right there. You know what? That kind of looks like a person that I almost drew right there. I always got to be careful what I'm drawing here on the telestrator. You know how quickly that could go wrong. But yeah, the sports revenue kind of does the same V shape, the same U shape as the handle does. So obviously the more that's being bet, the more revenue that takes place. And that just kind of reminds you that the house always wins, right? Revenue doesn't change for them consistent with handle. The handle is what it is, and then the revenue is what it is. So the more you bet, the more they win. I mean, look at the trajectory here. There's no years, right, where it's opposite, like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They go in order. What if 2024 finished down here? It didn't. Of course it didn't. More betting, more handle, more revenue. Now, how about location on these bets? And I don't have the official reason for this, but again, it's that same U shape here. State of New York, well above Illinois and New Jersey. And then you have all these states here: Ohio, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Massachusetts, Arizona, Virginia, and Colorado. By the way, who out there is still calling it Nevada? I'm their neighbor out here in California. Nevada. Also Oregon, not Oregon. as far as I know. Sorry, pet peeves. I didn't mean to rant there. But New York, way above everybody else in terms of sports betting handle and revenue across the biggest markets. This is month by month in the millions of dollars. So do the math on $2,000 million. I'm not that smart. But the point is, New York is way ahead of everybody else. It has that similar trend. It is all about football season that's right over here. I will say, and this is one of my takeaways later, that if California and Texas had legal sports betting, they'd probably be the only ones to challenge New York. And I don't have the reason why New York is well ahead of everybody else. More population, more teams, tradition of betting more. I honestly do not know. And here's something else that I wasn't necessarily aware of. I mean, obviously I have brand recognition with DraftKings and FanDuel, and I know some other different ones too. BetESPN, BetMGM. I know Fanatics has gotten into the sports wagering business. So those all fall into the others category, but FanDuel and DraftKings are by far the biggest in all these different states. But look at like Wyoming, for example. DraftKings is the more popular one. In Maryland, blue on blue, that wasn't good. FanDuel is the more popular one. You know what? Let me look at, there we go. See, I finally learned how to use the telestrator here. It's kind of interesting how the share is different here. Let's go. No, I almost did green. How about red? The share is different here across all these different states. And even in a place like Michigan, 35% of people use another service. So actually it goes, in Michigan, it goes FanDuel's number 1, others are number 2, and DraftKings are number 3. So again, this kind of paints a picture that I don't know people were aware of in 2024 based on the state markets, what people are using, what services, just something that, again, was not on my radar. Okay, some takeaways here to close out the video. Everything, I remind you, that you've just seen are only totals recorded from where betting is legal. Right? This doesn't have to do with fantasy sports or illegal betting, which we know goes on in all the states where it's not legal. We know that already. This just paints a picture of the legal part. I remind you that. The industry appears entirely dependent on football season. And I'm not here to say that if you had year-round football, you'd have betting like that. I mean, people love the NFL and college, and that's when it seems like they are more likely to make wagers. I would have thought it would be more consistent year-round. Of course, I would have thought during football season it spikes, but I wouldn't have thought in the middle of summer it goes down. Maybe people want to save their money during those summer months. And that kind of brings me to the third point here on your screen. Is this a healthy trend? Like how fast this is going up and how much people are betting with an economy where there's obviously inflation and things cost more and there's job cuts and things are way more expensive than they ever used to be. And we also know that gambling is kind of an addictive habit, an addictive trait for some people. Is this a responsible trend to keep pushing this? I mean, that growth is crazy, right? Again, we understand that it's going to trend up, but 23%? Is that what it was? 23% from 2023 to 2024? It's amazing. And again, New York is number 1, but California and Texas would easily challenge New York if it were legal in this state and in the Lone Star State. So I just wanted to pass that along. Maybe you're somebody who places a lot of bets or no bets. It's just that blew my mind. I expected a high number and a high volume of bets being placed in 2024. I had no clue it grew that much year to year with no signs of slowing down. That's the end of this video. I appreciate you for making it here all the way to the final seconds. Thumbs up down below. That'll greatly help me and this video and this channel. And one more favor to ask. Could you please go down there and hit that subscribe button if you like this, if you want more of it. That way I definitely get to see you next time.